Hello, I'm streaming to you live. I'm Gordon with Unlock Your Bioenergy. Today is Thursday, January 15th, 2026. And how much do you know about the importance of water and its influence on your bioenergy? This is a subject I ask because do you know what is deuterium oxide? Well, deuterium oxide, also known as heavy water, D2O, is a form of water in which the hydrogen atoms are replaced by the heavier isotope deuterium, 2H or D. It's called heavy water due to its higher molecular mass and density, approximately 1.107 grams per milliliter at 25 degrees centigrade, about 10.6% denser than ordinary water. Key physical chemical properties: chemical formula of D2O, molar mass 20.2. So this is just some of the science, melting point 3.82 degrees Celsius, boiling point 101.4 degrees Celsius. Its appearance is colorless, odorless, liquid. Density, viscosity, refractive index, pKa, molarity scale, solubility miscible with water. The stronger hydrogen bonds in deuterium oxide result in higher melting and boiling points, lower vapor pressure, and reduced electrical conductivity compared to H2O. Now this statement here, right there, reduced electrical conductivity compared to H2O. Applications of deuterium oxide consist of nuclear reactors used in a neutron moderator and coolant in heavy water reactors due to its low neutron absorption cross-section. Scientific research employed as an isotopic tracer in chemical, biochemical, and metabolic studies. It's used to track reaction mechanisms and metabolic pathways. NMR spectroscopy, a high-purity deuterated solvent used in nuclear magnetic resonance studies to avoid interference from proton signals. Industrial uses: deuterium lamps for UV, such as lifespan and higher intensity than hydrogen lamps. Semiconductor manufacturing: deuterium gas from electrolysis of D2O improves chip durability and performance. It's used in fiber optics, so deuterium substitution enhances in stability and transmission and efficiency of optical fibers. But that's probably, I don't know if that conflicts with water. So it's used in pharmaceuticals, used in deuterated drugs to slow metabolism and extend half-life. So what's half-life? Is that reducing life? So extending the half-life? That doesn't make sense to me. Kind of makes me wonder a little bit. Safety and biological effects. Non-radioactive. I don't know. Unlike tritiated water, deuterium oxide is stable and not radioactive. I don't know about that. Because if it's used in nuclear plants. It says toxicity. While safe in dilute form, concentrated or pure D2O is toxic to living organisms. So if you're in the if you're going to the medical industry and they're saying, It's okay to give you just a little bit, but if it's concentrated, it's going to kill you. It's no different than saying formaldehyde. It's okay, it's a little bit, but if you give you concentrated, such as if you're cutting MDF, you need to have proper ventilation in your facility where you're cutting the MDF, because the vapor or the gas from it can kill you in concentrated. So I don't know, this makes me wonder a little bit. As deuterium oxide disrupts cellular processes and can cause death at concentrations above 60%. So, the human metabolism, when ingested, is in diluted form. Deuterium is excreted in urine over about 14 days, allowing its use in metabolic rate studies. Production and availability. There's a natural abundance about it, I would guess. About 1 deuterium atom per every 6,760 hydrogen atoms in ordinary water. So, when I talk about drinking deuterium-free, 114-degree molecular bond angle water, does it have an effect on the electricity in my body? Well, when the heart is an electrical pump, why is my heart going to 217 as a maximum? Is there a connection with that of deuterium-free? 114-degree molecular bond angle water? You ask yourself that question. Is there a connection? When water is known to have an influence on the electricity in your body. Is there a direct connection to that of my heart rate? And I say this because I'd never seen heart rates before I started drinking this. That's when it happened. I'm like, what the heck? How is my heart rate just exploding in numbers, in value? What changed? Well, drinking this changed it. Was it for the better? Well, you be the judge of that. So, production methods of deuterium oxide, electrolysis, still used for small-scale enrichment, Girdle sulfide process, so H2S / H2O exchange, most common industrial method. Fractional distillation based on differences on volatility. Global production of deuterium oxide has been in Argentina. So that's a Roto plant. Now it's apparently inactive, according to this article that I searched. It's produced in Canada, India, and China are major producers. Isn't that interesting? Market price, $230,000 per ton for nuclear grade D2O, so deuterium oxide. Notable facts. Historical significance. It was heavily contested during World War II. Allied forces sabotaged the Norwegian heavy water plant to prevent Nazi Germany from developing atomic weapons. Energy potential. Seawater contains an estimated 5 times 10 to the power 14 tons of deuterium, enough to power humanity for billions of years via fusion energy. So deuterium oxide is a critical material in nuclear science, advanced research, and emerging technologies, with a unique combination of physical, chemical, and nuclear properties. So, why am I bringing all of this up? Well, it has to do with the water I'm drinking. So, And I ask different questions. I research things. So why is this important? Deuterium oxide. People with Parkinson's disease, are they victims or byproducts of heavy water? Ask yourself this question. Because if it reduces the electricity inside that of the body, and I see people shaking like this, okay? This tells me that something is short-circuiting inside the body. It's no different than if I have a light on my ceiling that's flickering. Flick, 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 flick. What is the problem? Is it the wires that are causing the light to flicker? No, it has to do with the electricity that's moving inside the wires. So when I think about the human body, I think about the nervous system. That's the wires, right? So what is causing this to happen inside the body? Like here, I could do this all day, right? And almost to the point where I can control it, because I use this technique when I'm playing my accordion. There's a technique that's called spremla in Slovenian. Basically, it's a tick-ta, tick-ta, tick-ta. It's an accompaniment style that was designed, that originated from Slovenia. Slavko Avsenik was the accordionist that came up with this idea. And it's so widely used all throughout Europe now that when you hear this, how do you produce that sound? Tick-ta, 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 and to do it fast, it's almost like you have to use this. It's like shooting the nerves halfway. Almost, it's not. You're not using a full pressure of your hand to create the springing motion inside on the accordion to make this sound. So this is what I'm talking about. I could do this all day, and I could do it with my legs even, where I'm shaking the legs halfway. But then people with Parkinson's can't control it. They can't stop it like this. It just keeps going, right? So what is the problem inside the body? Well, it's the electricity that's firing. So there's this lady here, very nice. She says shaking boots, that's the she's a sufferer of Parkinson's. So I made a comment. I said, well, I think you should consider maybe using the consider deuterium-free water to help with the electricity inside the body. And somebody said, "Oh, why are you doing this? You're making a statement that people are going to believe you." Yes, they should believe me because it's true. This was it here. I specifically wrote, have you considered activating your DNA mitochondria that goes dormant to help cope with Parkinson's disease? I would also consider adding deuterium-free 114-degree molecular bond angle water, as it is a superior fuel source for DNA development as well, because it's tied to the electricity inside the body, so the light doesn't flicker. And I said, I'm planning to talk about it today, because I wrote this yesterday. And perhaps it may help you, along with all the other thousands of people that suffer from this condition. Someone says, no, and neither should anyone else, because that's not a thing. I'm like, oh, okay, this is a bot, or this is a troll that's watching this person. Another person writes, why do people like you post crap like this? There are people who will believe you and follow your advice and could hurt themselves. That's another troll account right there. Like, seriously? I ain't that stupid, because I know what happened to me and the experience that I have, and I am sharing that with you, the listener, to try and to help you to maybe perhaps figure out whether you are a victim of deuterium oxide. Could it be that simple? And the reason why I support this, because why do doctors use it? Well, doctors use deuterium oxide as a safe tracer to study metabolism. When ingested, it helps measure body composition, total body water, and energy expenditure. I'm like, okay, is it really good? But we know that in concentrations, it can be detrimental to the body. So that's a slippery slope. So for me, it makes more sense to drink the cleanest and most absorbable water, which makes a lot of sense when it factors in deuterium free. And then I see this guy, which really supports my claim as far as what he says. His name is Paul Farley, and he talks about Parkinson's disease awareness. Profit in 1 year from Parkinson's disease meds in Europe is 1.8 billion. I'm like, why would you stop the flow of cash flow for something like this? Does that, like, oh no, don't solve the root problem, because then it eliminates all the cash flow that's associated. Well, is that a conflict of interest? You ask me. So I've got respect for Mr. Paul Farley, because he's talking about overcoming Parkinson's with high intensity interval training. Well, what does that do? What does that do in the body? It's creating electricity, moving the electricity around in the body. But what supports that electricity? Deuterium free. I think it's numero uno. Because for me, my supporting reason for that is when I started doing the fitness test that I do on sunny Saturdays with that 9-foot rope. Back in 2018, I thought I was pretty good at skipping. But compared to this past weekend, I started drinking this water, deuterium free, in 2021, 3 years after, and I started to progressively notice a change. And yet I still am noticing a change, an improvement. I have not reached a plateau yet. Why is that? Well, I think it has a lot to do with the neurons and the electricity, because it makes sense to me. Support that with good electrolytes, salt. Now I'm talking about Celtic sea salts, or Redmond real salt. Has the 3 forms of magnesium. And then when you combine it with deuterium free inside the body, there's like, how would you say, an explosion or a spark. Just much like how I talked about it last week. The spark inside the body. And what does that spark do? The things that the body's intended to do. Live strong, live well, and live young. And am I or this doctor wrong with what we are saying? This is Dr. Stacy. I've featured her before, and I feature her again.
This is a wearable light technology, and when you're activating peptides are chains of proteins or amino acids. They're the building blocks of your body. When you're activating these processes inside of the body, that biochemical reaction that's happening instantly with the mitochondria, it's just boom, boom, boom. Like, you can't even think as fast as this is happening. All of the components need to be there, and water is a big one. Half your body weight in ounces every day. Throughout the day, after 12 hours, you take your patch off and you throw it away, or you put it on your furry little baby running around, or your plant. And then you get up the next morning and you do the same thing again, and you do it over and over and over and over and over and over again until the end of time.
So, am I doing what she's saying? I drank water. I've had 2 cups of these. Deuterium free, 114 degree molecular bond angle water. And I wear the X39. Today is day number 276. Do you think I am reaping the benefits from it? When I'm able to hit heart rates as I do during these live streams 6 days a week, and to show you the benefits that I receive from that of the X39. You see them down here? See them? Improving mental clarity, experiencing rapid pain relief and reduced inflammation, improved skin appearance, enhanced sports performance, increased energy and vitality. I'm experiencing the benefit, and faster recovery from exercise. Now, if you watched yesterday's episode, I talked about VO2 max. VO2 max, that article yesterday was actually pretty good. And I added my 2 cents throughout the episode. And it was the first time that I really read through that article in its entirety. And I purposely did that to save my natural thought process, because I didn't think about it at all. And some of the things that were brought up in that article, I've been talking about it for months. I've known about it for a long time. But it was just intriguing how it was included as part of the process in that article to describe VO2 max. And I encourage you to watch yesterday's episode, because it correlates into today's connecting episode with regards to deuterium oxide, because you can't have one thing without the other. And this is what I've been preaching for a long time now. I don't know how many people are listening, but I'm sure there's a few, because the number of views keep growing regularly. So if you want to look at some of the things that I've talked about, that I've blogged about, written, you can scan the QR code that you see on the screen. It'll take you directly to unlockyourbioenergy.godaddyscites.com. And when you visit that webpage, you'll see these buttons on the screen, which if you click on this guy here, it'll take you to Start X39, where you can look at the actual details and the studies associated with stem cells and the mitochondria, and that support the benefits that I am experiencing on a day-to-day basis. And you can too. It costs about a coffee a day. And can it fit into your lifestyle? The answer is yes. And if you scan this QR code, it'll take you to lifewave.com, and you can make your first purchase. So with that, let's begin today's workout. So, going to consist of doing a warm-up, which I will do this here. Okay, I can see it registered. That's good. So I'm going to set the metronome at 165. switch my shoes. Didn't put got my slippers still on. Not gonna skip with slippers because I don't want my feet to fall off, the slippers to fall off. And I'm gonna set the timer. Forget. There we go. And let's begin today's workout. Before I forget, heart rate monitor. Yesterday's result hit at 193. Okay, looks good. And let's begin. I just realized the metronome's not playing. Let's go. Come on. Let's try this one more time. Ah, crashed. Didn't like that. So, for the shoulders and traps today, I'm going to do a face pull with it, as I normally do, and then I'm going to introduce a secondary exercise that's going to focus on activating the rear deltoid from the full stretched position. So, it's going to be like pulling an archer bull, or you know, if you're doing archery, you're gonna pull on the string, so that's gonna activate the rear. That activates the rear deltoid. So I've got a variation that I'm gonna introduce today, and to target the rear deltoid just a little bit more at the fully stretched position. And then I'll move to medial deltoids, the front, do the rotators, and last but not least, which will be for the traps, I'll be doing a bus driver type of movement. And that should be fun to do if you've never done it before. And I'll explain some different ways which you can do the exercise. So today I can feel the glutes and the quads. The soreness is this today, so I'm not sure how much it's going to affect my performance with the high intensity section of this warm-up, because the legs do hurt from yesterday, and they're not to the point where it doesn't hurt where so much where you sit on the toilet. I know, but I can certainly feel the glutes because of the bounce and moving a little bit. So that means I did good yesterday in targeting the muscles. I did feel a lot of discomfort, and So it is known that the legs are a big muscle group for a lot of people, and it can promote higher levels of growth hormone, natural growth hormone production. So that's a good thing. I can feel the quads stretch when I bring the knees up high. And then when I put the legs down, I can feel the glutes saying, oh, they're getting some blood flow, which is good. Reactivating the electricity inside the muscle. So important to have water that supports it. Much like what Dr. Stacy says, and I believe I drink the best. And I think it shows in my heart rate. And if I am successful at winning the contest for muscle and fitness and that prize of 20,000, that'll be interesting. Because then it means that people like you believe in what I'm saying. If you vote for me. Alright, so we're getting close to the 2.5 minute balance. Mind you, there is also 2 minutes of a recovery session as part of the remaining time, so for those that are wondering how am I coming up with this, I do track how long it takes for my heart rate to recover after the 2.5 minutes of intensity. So I may try to do crisscrosses today, because we'll see how it feels when I do a double under. Maybe I should just stick with that. Now I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do. So, T-minus 15 seconds. And I'm going to start with some double unders. We'll see how it goes. Here we go. 1, 2, really? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh. 1, 2. decided to sit today just to see how it affects me. I have a tendency to want to stand up. Okay. So you can see my heart rate has stabilized after 2 minutes. And let's continue on with shoulders, rotator, and traps. I'm going to put this here for later. So I'm going to start with moving. I'm going to use the vibration again today. I think that's where I need to be, kind of. Just going to kind of test how the distance is here with the bands, because I want tension at the beginning of the rep. That's good. Okay. Turn the vibration plate on. I'm just going to check that it's in the right spot where I want it to be. Okay. There we go. So, I'm going to grab a second band here, holding it in my hands. And let's begin. Here we go. So this is working the rear deltoids. So this is what's called a face pull, coined by Jeff Cavalier, owner of Athlean X. I have a lot of respect for Jeff as a trainer, and he's someone who I first started following 10 years ago online, and he's someone who I find is a staple. He knows what to do, and he's the individual who I have learned from. He is a physiotherapist first, oh, this feels very good. Adding rotation while you're holding the rear deltoid, so the rotation gets the rotator involved a little bit. So here I'm trying to pull the bands apart a little bit at the top of the movement. Holding it isometrically. Oh yeah. Wow. forward just to make sure that targeting or helping the joint. But when I'm holding it here, oh yeah, gosh, pulling it apart adds another element of activation to the rear deltoid, which is what I want. All right, so this next exercise is going to be a slight variation. So I haven't done this before. I have intended to do it, but just have never done it. So I'm going to take the vibration plate, put it this way like I've done for the fly, and I'm going to take a band that's attached here to the wall and attach it this way. Yeah. Just going to kind of measure that I'm centered here. Yeah. All right, so now I can feel the tension that's being applied on the rear deltoid at full stretched position. So I'm going to focus here. My hands are kind of crossed and just pull it this way. And I can switch it so one is higher than the other. Like that. But here, this here is at fully stretched position. And then pull it apart like this. Having the vibration as part of this movement, I can feel the activation that it's providing, because I feel my shoulders are moving, and when I touch the muscle I can feel it being activated. So this technique really works well as a third technique. So if you're looking at something different as opposed to type 1 or type 2 activation, this combines, I think, the best of both worlds. And when you hold it statically like this, raise the arms, I feel my right one, the shoulder is, oh yeah, this is very good actually. This is full stretch. Pulling apart now. My left arm is definitely stronger than my right, and largely because of my accordion. And I've fallen a few times over the course of my life where I've landed on my shoulder, fallen off the bike, the skateboard, fallen on the ice, skating, or even rollerblading. So that right one, ooh, this is good. I've been missing out on this one. So I would call these kind of like archer pulls. This is a more advanced version of it. Getting both left and right at the same time. Wow. Oh, I can certainly feel that rear deltoid pulling. It's good. All right. So I'm fortunate that I have this anchor point here, this post, this guy, where I can utilize the equipment that I have. If you don't have it, you can do this. Just then you alternate location, you know, you have to switch against the wall if you don't have a second post to do it at the same time. So next up is medial deltoid, and that's where I'm going to take a red band and utilize the door anchors that I have. So I'm going to use both of them, and reason being because I want to stretch or reduce the length of the band by using the dual anchors, and you'll see why, because I like to crisscross the bands so that way I activate the medial deltoid within its full range of motion, meaning the medial deltoid starts pulling here at this point, so you have strength here, so you want to be able to target that a little bit. And I do that with the band here by crisscrossing them. Alright, just gonna do this like this. So I step on it. I'm putting the circular part on the center and stepping on it this way, and that takes the slack out of the band. So you can see I have more. There's tension right here at the bottom, so when I'm moving it, it's pulling. And I can make a little bit more tension or reduce more of the slack by just changing the position of this, so that way my shoes are acting as part of the process. Okay. Yeah, that's about even now. So now there's a little bit more tension at the bottom. Let's see. No, it doesn't work. I won't be able to stretch it all the way up, so I have to utilize my feet to stretch them apart. All right, so 3 minutes. Let's begin. So I'm gonna hold this here. I want tension at the bottom, which I have. There's tension pulling here, and then pull it all the way up. So I'm doing a little bit of a ladder. Oh, wow. Working the ladder. Oh, wow. That's a lot of tension. Up here, I'm going to try reverse now. I want to give up so much. Oh. Even here it's hurting. Wow. Oh. Wow. Okay, I can try it now from the bottom up. Oh, wow. Wow. That certainly torches the medial deltoid. It's one thing to be able to lift the weight, but it's another thing to actually be able to hold it, to control it. And this is why I like using the vibration, because it forces you to really control that weight. And in my opinion, that's what accelerates muscle hypertrophy and muscle growth. Your body responds to it. And this is why I talk so highly about the recovery aspect from wearing the X39, because I've been doing this training for many years now. I started back in when the pandemic began. I had all this equipment that you see, I had it already. And I thought, oh, why don't I try doing this vibration plate training after everything that I've learned from Jeff. That's how it all began. Well, I had the plate, and I used it periodically when I was working out at home, not going to the gym, if I was home on vacation, for example. But then when you don't have it around you, you kind of forget about it. And that's what more or less happened. Didn't have it, so you use what you have with what's available around you. And that time I was going to a gym. All right, so now oh, I just realized I'm not using the green band behind me to get the full range of motion, but that's okay for today. This time I'm just going to work on the deltoid at the top. So that you hear, that's my feet. My heels are lifting off the ground or off the plate. Oh, wow. Gosh. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. I feel like I'm a dog breathing. front deltoid. So this is 16 pounds worth of resistance on each arm. So it's an 8-pound band. When you cut it in half, it becomes 16. All right, next is rotator. So yes, okay. I'm going to use the smaller, I've got a smaller one here that I've prepped. This is the ankle strap. Well, I'm going to lower this green band. And for the rotator portion, I'm going to keep adding the twist. So, kind of see where it needs to be. I'm going to move this closer slightly because I want it to be, I want to have tension but not too much. Okay, so turning the body this way and then activating gets the rotator at the beginning of the stretch, or the rotator when it's fully stretched. So these are type of things that I like to do. So here the rotator is fully stretched. Now activating it and holding. So pulling my wrist away from the wall while having the rotator do the job. So here my wrist is touching my torso and pulling it away. Pulling it away all the way now here. So now full, this is kind of making an L, my elbow. Oh. One thing I forgot. This time I'm going to use this guy, the pool noodle. So here I'm going to hold it stationary or isometrically. Releasing a little bit, negative, now contracting, now turning away and getting it at full contraction, holding it isometrically. You can tell how much my elbow is moving by the pool noodle. It's wobbling like crazy. You can see it in the shadow. Oh wow. So now here, holding it. Oh my. Gosh. Holding it here, fully stretched. Now, through the other range of motion. Just a few more seconds to offset the time I took to get off the vibration plate. Oh wow, I can really feel that rotator. Very good. Alright, so now I'm going to switch to the other side. So here we are. Rotators at fully stretched. holding it isometrically, moving through the full range of motion, kind of like the ladder that I was doing with the medial deltoid and the front delts. Turning now this way, facing the wall, getting the full contraction. So rotating back slowly, a slow negative. Now my wrist is touching my torso. Just move it away slowly. Wow. Gosh. Oh, this is so uncomfortable. For such a small muscle, you'd think it would be easy. Oh, wow. I can feel the glutes moving. Come on. All right, that's rotators. Next up, I haven't done this before, so I'm going to introduce this as a new kind of exercise. And what I'm going to do is utilize the grain band, because I've kind of already torched the front deltoids a little bit, because they get involved with this, the bus driver type movement. And I'm going to utilize the door anchors. Yeah, since it's only one, so what I'm going to do is actually kind of use both of these door anchors to center try to center the band in the middle of my feet, because I want to be able to kind of still step apart, but utilize the band. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. I'm going to put both door anchors. So it's kind of similar procedure with the medial deltoid that I did earlier, but I'm going to utilize just the single band, and this time I'm going to step on, put the anchor portion of the door anchor on the outside, and this is going to tug it towards the center between. So you see here, there's less slack, how it's like that, and that's kind of what I want. Because this one here is going to torch the trap. The intention is to do the traps. So basically what I'm going to do is lift them up like this, but then add what's called a bus driver. So just going to let that sit like that. You could use one of two things. I've got here, this is just a balance board. So I'm going to hold it like this and then rotate it over like that, but then at the same time lift it up over my head. Okay. Now, depending how high I can go, will be determining how much strength I have. Now, if you don't have one of these, you can use a simple exercise ball. So the same idea, but with the exercise ball, now there's more rotation that's going to happen with your shoulders. So your shoulder is going to have to rotate up and over, and that's going to help activate the trapezoid. So that's the idea behind this. So I'm going to use the bigger ball, or the bigger circumference of the exercise ball, to achieve that rotation in the trap. So mimicking moving the ball this way. So you see how the shoulder gets, or the trap gets activated because of that. So here we go. Like this, rotate it, and like that. And I have the vibration as part of the movement, like this, and then down, and then up as well. Try not to bend your elbows, so keep them straight, because if you bend your elbows out like this, you're taking the tension off. And the ball kind of acts like I can feel it already, additional resistance, because the band is attaching to it. It kind of curls around it. So this kind of activates the front deltoid a little bit here, and then here higher, there's more of the trap. So getting some of those different fibers, so I can feel it already. So obviously I'm using lighter weight because I already torched the, so this could be considered a finisher. Try to hold the ball with your fingertips. Fully out in front of you. So arms are straight like this. Oh wow. Could add a secondary dimension to this, so when you're pulling, if I have turned around and attached the band to the wall, pulling it away. To do that, you want to make sure that you have not too heavy resistance, because you need to have your feet still, you can't straddle them this way on the vibration plate unless you go perpendicular to it. Oh wow. All right, that's it for today. So 45 minutes, a little bit, so you could tell I've got, the shoulders, they're coming, they're filling up, and I'm still only eating one meal a day, so about 25 grams on average of protein. So when people talk about, having to eat lots of protein, I don't know if that's necessarily true, because like I said in the past, an amino acid basically has a lot of, if you look at the chemical properties of amino acids, pick any one. I recently looked at lysine. Let's see. I'll do it right now. So that's deuterium oxide. That was a VO2 max from yesterday. Where did I look at it? Here, okay. Let's go look at this one. Chemical formula of lysine. I think that's how you spell it. So that's one of the amino acids. L-lysine. So right here, I'm looking at it, and it says lysine is 6 carbon, 14 atoms of hydrogen, 2 nitrogen, and 2 oxygen. So I'm looking at this as saying, okay, well, your body's going to synthesize what it needs, right? It's going to synthesize proteins, much like how Dr. Stacy talked about your body synthesizes it. So look at my muscle. Like, how is it that I'm only eating 1 meal a day, but I'm drinking the cleanest but most absorbable, deuterium-free, 114-degree molecular bond angle water? And how is it that when you look at lysine, one of the amino acids, one of the essential, has 6 carbon, 14 atoms of hydrogen, 2 nitrogen, and 2 nitrogen. So if you're eating foods that are high in nitrogen, it is well known that if you have nitrogen in your body, that's what basically is. If you're neutral nitrogen, you are neither gaining muscle or losing it. But if you are positive nitrogen, then you are going to put on muscle mass. Nitrogen. If you are low on nitrogen, you're going to lose. So what holds on to that? What holds on to the nitrogen inside the body? Is it carbon, oxygen, or hydrogen? You tell me. Which one is it? I don't know. I'm starting to think it's hydrogen. And carbon is just part of the puzzle. So you need to have some carbs, right? So am I still putting on muscle mass? 1 meal a day? You be the judge. So here we go. Debrief of heart rate. So today's date, January 15th, 2026. Starting time was at 11:38 Mountain Standard Time. And what did I hit? Okay. 203 for maximum heart rate today. 203. So that's 3 out of the last 4 days, I hit over 200. And you can see there, how long was I there for? It's hard to say. Maybe half a minute or something like that. And some of that has to do with just legs hurt and just getting tired over the course of the week. So, did I sleep well last night? I sure did. I slept pretty good, and I woke up pretty refreshed. The night prior, I didn't go to bed as early as I wanted to, and I think I paid the price for that yesterday, and I think it was partially reflective in my heart rate. So, needless to say, I think I'm on to something. Do you need to have all these supplements? I don't know. I think the best one that you need to have is what comes out of this cup and what I make. I talk about it every single day. And it's kind of coincidental, Thirsty Thursday, and I talk about deuterium oxide. So if you like this episode, I encourage you to share it with those around you. And I also encourage you to power your workouts with the best, which I call X39. And you see me wearing it right here. Today is day number, what did I say, 276? So certainly I'm doing something right, and you can too. So I ask for your trust. Show me your trust. Start and feel the benefits. Experience them. As you see on the screen. I don't think you'll regret it. So, see you tomorrow for Feel It Friday. It's going to be good. We're going to be playing with the cards right there as you see it. I'll have them shuffled and ready to go. Have a good night.